Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Entrepreneurial Miners page. Here I share with you the life of a mining engineer in Canada. In the first episode, we discussed transitioning, and I promised you a second episode on the topic, the Canadian mining industry. So in this episode, we are going to look at the Canadian mining industry in general. We are going to look at the number of gold mining companies they have here and where they are located. We're going to look at the top gold mining companies here in Canada. We would also look at the employment system here in Canada. And we will look at remuneration. I mean, sikasem, almost sikasem, no, omutuan is saying yearly, saying range, saying now we should be to falling in. If you happen to be employed here in Canada in the mining industry. And then we would look at the income tax system. Tax saying no moje. Skano eba saying the kwa buy ho na saying the beka winsem. So we will discuss all this, and thanks to everyone who followed this page and liked whatever we are doing here. Mr. say once I video na I share na embedi so enya so emfaso sene ebe ya bekwa anima obi aso ensa kan de rura ya boy na mjidi say ehun baba faso ama obi bia. So now, as we are all aware, Canada is recognized as one of the leading mining nations in the world. It produces 60 minerals and metals. It is the global leader in potash production and also ranked among the top 5 producers of nickel, diamonds, gold, indium, cobalt, niobium, palladium, platinum, titanium concentrate, and uranium. It is also the 4th largest producer of primary aluminum, and it is also a country known for the production of copper in high tonnage. Now, in terms of mining assets, Canada's total mining assets as of 2024 was around $352.6 billion. And out of this amount, $240.6 billion were assets that are located internationally, that is outside Canada. And the remaining $112 billion accounts for the assets that are within Canada. Now, let's talk about the gold sector, because that is the sector I work in. Now, Canada is recognized as the 4th largest gold producer in the world. It has 185 gold mining companies, with 69 of these gold mining companies located in a province called British Columbia, and 49 of these gold mining companies located in a province called Ontario. The remaining 60-something are located or are scattered in the other provinces in Canada. For the benefit of those of us who don't know what province is, province to say Accra, Ghana say, you were Greater Accra region, you were Central region, you were Ashanti region, you were Northern region. And you have a region. But over Canada has here, almost no province. And say province no be British Columbia, it be Ontario, it be Quebec, it be Alberta, it be Saskatchewan, it be Newfoundland and Labrador. This is about 10 of them together with other territories. So now, out of these 185 gold mining companies in Canada, there are about 11 of them are top ranked. Omoding at the Detour Lake Mine, Macassa Mine, Cote Gold Mine, Alamos Gold, Red Lake Complex, Canadian Malartic Mine, Eleanor Mine, Golders Mine, Brujac Mine, Meadowbank, and Eagle Gold Mine. 11 of them. May the link be back to first comment in the comment section. Or like as well, you would have access to all the profiles, or you have access to the profiles of these 11 mining companies here, whether we are underground mine and also we are surface mine, whether they do a combination of the two or whatnot. You know all about them in the profile and where they are located as well. So if you have any other question now, per se, will be able to address it about the Canadian mining industry in general now. You can also put your question below in the comment section, and I'll be glad to address them. So I will jump straight forward to the employment system here in Canada. Now, for the employment system here in Canada, first of all, to work here in Canada, we here work permit to be able to work here in Canada. Without the work permit, you are not allowed, or you won't be allowed, or you won't even be employed to work here in Canada. So most of the times, I am calls and text messages from Nkwofo say, "Oh, Ken, why na yenya ejuma or Canada na bebia o no." Ayana enye easy sa sabe sankai mo Ghana and the ABA mitmenya influence bi, because Ghana ni unhia any work permit bi. But I say answer na untumi nya influence in the employment system and as be amfo adwuma mu one, just a nipa na wo pesa wo man employment no kra no of Canada has it. Eno no bema ABA restrictions and I say ABA eno no bema won some kind no ayetitia, because the nipa no ewo outside Canada na say opesa wo yedwuma Canada one onya work permit. Na ha say no work permit a untumi nya adwuma. Me position bi a betumi occupy na me de wodin cry ekọ say bia nipa simesi say oye very hardworking guy, very highly skilled. A betumi aye adwuma na. The first question they will ask me is, nipa no, is he eligible to work in Canada? That is, nipa no or work permit ana. And I say or PR ana. And I say or passports, Canadian passports ana. When you kasa dabi pe omunti wasem kra. What you say? Yes, and the first step ni se nipa no opej mo Canada no obenya work permit or Canada say ansana any help ya metumi dia aboa no and obi abetumi dia aboa no Canada mo dwum ase no wetumi e dia aboa no, because one say company no a person kofa obi a free outside edinba kuremu ebe yedwuma na. The company has to prove beyond reasonable doubt to the government, and I said to the Ministry of Labor or Kuremu, say, which will kind of Kuremu na when you be a bet to me occupy that position. No. And I say, which was her Kuremu na when you be there, but Sani Pakrono on person be relocated about a crassy has a ya gold mine or person not transit anymore. And ya ubia bet me about a first position. No. And ya advertise here for close to a year or two. So like nyanya will be now your candidates be Africa or more willing some better on baba be jumano at the amaye. And no sano company no be kwa apply for a friend no LMIA, Labor Market Impact Assessment. And no document be a company be a or person or any foreign worker be a back no, or say or fill a form na or justify the entire or the sign no edeba. Now they are comma abano na abano ashum aye investigation name no create true do say a jumana and as a position na company we pe so or fill no when ya obi bia o kan da ase ya obefresa position no in the no sa no abano bema company no slot be about 2 or 3 or 4 slots be a documents count say okay fine for saa way fama nipa kro na opesa oba no fama mo Ghana and Africa bibia na nipa no e dey be apply together with other documents na they apply for work permit na the work permit no say ne tie yi a na dey ama no na or the aba Ghana or the aba Canada has say now what the back Canada says is you are coming in the name of that particular company. So if on your work permit over 3 years it was your first work permit closed work permit, it is closed to only that company, which means that you can only work for that particular company. 3 years no enso ya untumi free sa company no enko mama obi foforo. Sanity enti company no so or apply for sa LMI way na a check because in the document and any reasoning e dey come by na sometimes it takes about a year and sana buy no cry no it may in BBA we remember who say okay fine and no cry say the company we no all can no cry enti yema no sa LMI document no fan nkofo free other parts of the world no be adwuma and from sa company no. And for the company to go through all this stress, so yeah, or penetrate the answer, something that massa and no now what wada then the wape ubia or what kind of hair na wafano ejuma. Emuda yes, and Nancy ya mi ejuma mu say minya kwenya se metumi a recommending kofobi. Na esan se nkofo no Canada ha say nti no mitumi recommend mo ama ya fa mo but se menya kobo obi ofri Ghana and say outside Canada na se nipa no eni nkrata dada aya na eyetin kakra se company no ebetine ni kra dia hwe me and say bia dia hwe se obema obi ofra because ehun nkrata asem edoso kakra. And we don't need technocrats, we need engineers near the idea, even normal underground workers near the idea. Now, yes, the HR side, I mean the humanitarian side now. Canada no Krubia, I na opese offer idea. And offer and call for that department. Because when they say there are some labor, so you be an the labor homes and some be and there be legal issues be near there and there be employment issues be or more in or more courses be or more any other the into for almost school system no na that's all those courses ni be na I na camp friends saying system no who say yeah what's the more employment system no ase and to know between me handle labor issues and to know largely I na companies no a person fight and call for Canadians or the labor system nase. And to know we are immigrants. So now say waba school I say abe call and to be abe your courses be HR one employment one there that's what bit me afau me who be brave immigrants be ya form because school I say near there and I say abroad for now no school I say no also na system no and the company no afform but say straightforward so what far HR person from outside Canada, specifically be Africa, Ghana, street as a bishim na be India, and I think akra. I no more reserve positions no edema or more say the HR system as no Canada, either through experience here in Canada or what go through almost education system no. And which means acquire all those courses into more found say you can handle labor issues. Internet I mostly no better than for say the easiest way to Canada no through education because when you have a school system they believe at least when you buy some Canadian be in you, skills be in you, no. So you should be easily employable. Idea baako so a very important I'm person medical home say about employment Canada has here idea friend the Canadian experience no in here mo pa Enti obi a woyɛ senior bi ɛwɔ Canada, Ghana, and South Africa bibi, woyɛ superintendent bi. Na sɛ wofa school system no mu ɔkanda ha, na sɛ wowie school, na sɛ wobɛwura into the workforce a, woanhwɛ ne yie a, which it happens most of the time. Woanhwɛ ne yie a, saa wo superintendent na woyɛ wɔ Ghana no, ebia wobaa sɛ wobɛyɛ senior. Saa wo senior na woyɛ wɔ Ghana, ebia wobaa sɛ wobɛyɛ engineer. You start from that level because they would say you don't have the Canadian experience yet. And I've seen this countless times. And you know, a man will say, we are superintendent and as be a manager, and now we are senior ones, no buy a position that be position no between me perform. There's a high chance to bet me perform. Unless say A B or something make about LMI, you know. You have company now found anyone agree on certain terms. And what do we free outside Canada and what waba and the oba which na wabe handle. But waba abeko school that's a room there. Sometimes they see is after we school, you know, they might even start you from the lowest AE. It is happening. That is the reality. So you have to build yourself up again through the ladder. That is one key thing. I'm person for TSF. It's very, very, very important. And to be a superintendent, we are manager, or Ghana, we are senior Ghana, we be jaya no, I be share CBM, and answer obey and no each na also. I'm only giving you the raw information. So that's here, I will hand on that media mouth. And which to me, they decided on what to do. And see, we know about the employment sector, no, and I say be a system, no, so next year, Canada has it. So we will jump straight into remuneration. Sikasem, no, sensitive. On say Ghana, we had more minds more. Basic salary could be $2,000, $3,000, and it is US dollars. 2,000, 3,000, 4,000, whatever the basic may be. You also have your annual bonus, a few BS1. What sounds so possibly, what sounds so accommodation allowance, and so better. What sounds so PF, and so 2 years beyond. Watch it. A minimum crampo, fuel allowance near the idea. Depending on your level, which means all these benefits. I had no antecedent. And no, so but me they will all these allowances there winning and incentives see. But me I quantify no at the account with basic no monthly now. Bon say, okay, mood ba. Na Ghana so no, etua no monthly. Na ha no, Canada no, omo aketua no, anase bia omo quote remuneration amawa, omo quote no yearly. Any salaried workers no, omo quote no yearly at the maye. All those menial jobs send them make on the other time now about all this McDonald's and that now, omo hourly workers. Mono quote more maybe $15 an hour, $20 an hour near the idea. But urban professional jobs in say mining near the idea now. You know, salaried workers are more quote every year, like yearly quote and item. Now, let me break it down. Say you have to school for Canada. Let's say ube remwa for freshman year mother. And what shall I say from EIT, engineer in training. EIT. And no, what the ventilation engineer, rock mechanic engineer, geotech engineer, mining engineer, planning engineer, whatever engineer, what tech service department, no. EIT. So from EIT, about normal engineer, no, the pay range here per year, and I say annual pay range, no, a year from 80,000 to 120,000 a year. 80,000 to 120,000 a year. And now from EIT to normal engineer, AB event engineer, mine engineer, biotech engineer, whatever. That's the pay range. Plus an annual bonus of say 10 to 15%. Plus an annual bonus of 10 to 15%. It's more 100,000 a year, plus either your 10% or plus your 12% a year as bonus. And I don't know. Omuno will need PF assembly. Omuno will need accommodation allowance assembly. Omuno will need transportation allowance assembly. After young quite a strohonomo. We are superintendent, I will crew you more. Or salary no. A year from 175,000 and equal 210,000. That's the range, averagely, across board. Whether you're a rockman superintendent or tech or planning superintendent or whatever, no. From 175 to 210,000 per year, plus 25% or sometimes a bit, 25% normally of that as your annual bonus. And mind you, this annual bonus can reduce to 20% depending on your production, performance and the idea. And that's where the more we are, and now, senior levels, maybe a mine engineer, senior mine engineer, whatever, senior levels, between 120 to 118, in between. I know senior engineers who take like 140,000 a year. I know seniors who take 150. I know seniors who take 160. I know seniors who take 170. Depending on the location of the mine and mine and the pay structure. Mostly, mines now are the remotest of areas, remote areas, especially Northern Ontario mining mines, and I say, not even Northern Ontario, Nunavut, Yukon, a shore pan, a war, maybe a war pan, or pay no, a washro, kakra, because of say, I war one flying flat, and so they be a risk, they be no fly outside 2 weeks, piano. It's a pain was kakra. And no more bend southern side, no, so no pay no, from kakra, or the compare show for now. So make no EIT to engineer between 80 to 120,000. Superintendent for no between 170, 175 to 210. Senior engineers from 120 to 170 and 120 to 180 range, and yes, sa and a tier plus will bonus whether 15% or 25% depending on who range, So no PF, nothing, just the two. Now, when you're lucky as a superintendent, you might be given an accommodation. Because, one, from senior role, they prefer the employee to come and stay, to relocate from wherever he is to the rural community now, mining company, Say if there is no community in the area, let's say bush like a very isolated. Let's say there's no community around there, and yet fly out, will be but there are some mining companies our community, maybe it's a Red Lake mine, say, or our community. On a senior level, and I say they even want almost all the workers to relocate from wherever they are, like the big cities like Toronto and Quebec and all that, But not crew no more. Now, why relocated but not crew no more? Your transportation cost one or so with you car, educate you, one or so tow fuel, and on your company cost. She say be a superintendent, educate manager and level, and they be almost some perks be say be okay fine. Would they have more dime what's name? But until this idea, when I will relocate here, as a senior engineer or mining engineer, normal mining engineer, and as a EIT, no relocate there. Company no any with a dime once in Biaka. ɛno no no ni car ho asɛm bi aka ɔno ni fuel ho asɛm bi aka the what we are aboa ne say ɔmo relocation allowance beginning na wo ba na ɔmo allowance now they are relocate obewie no ano. By the way, there are 1 or 2 mining companies bi a ɔmo de sɛ bi ɔmo tumi support ɔmo workers no in terms of some fuel allowance bi tip bi and ɔmo de ma ebi a bulk bi at the end of the year and be every 6 months tumi de ma and support wa kra but largely mines no de ɔnya ma wo annual sika no ekoti ma plus wo bonus ne de a ɔno wewie enti wohwɛ sika a wogye ɛwɔ Ghana plus all these incentives now bɛhwɛ sika a bɛgye wɔ ha sei plus our bonus ne pɛ without any incentives no now they compare now what decide yie yɛnhwɛ the tax system answer be the income tax system no a ɛwɔ ha sei no ɛno no yɛ our next year be discussing. Now the tax system here is such that there were 2 tax systems. There were the federal tax and there were the provincial tax. Federal tax no the big government sangasa and you federal. So no it's kind of you no better idea. And sana province that's the provincial tax no. Province no so ebeti ono so ne de enti company no baby a wo adwuma wo no say e bia e Quebec a obeto Quebec tax so wa beta omso mo tax amote province bia e won tax what enti no at the end of the day no wo tua tax me no federal plus provincial wo di bomu a dodo bia na obeto no na scan so no ebia range bia pay range bia I want a amount of tax and as a percentage of tax on better and I'm that to show say no mess also the link no ato comment section when mo o click so obohu the tax system and as obohu the provincial tax ne range na on bet any tax on better obohu ni na e wo ho no mo enti omato tax na ewie no de beka no e na eye sabio de wudi kofi enti ano no just the tax income tax omato unya je kofi wi your indirect taxes no in terms of ibi okoto nsu ya tax oto tomatoes ya tax oto nkate ya tax ni na kwanu nyamba enti ano so wo ho enti the marking wo hwe range na wo susu se botum de ho akotum in terms of salary range no wo peg ya just okay fine probably I fall in this range I want to apply the tax and then see how much you get. Now tax no just income tax just federal tax and provincial tax omunya until CPP Canada pension plan omunya until ye plus EI employment insurance so munya until ye enti eno kwa no me nka wasem but eno so better enti scanner if you apply the taxes new year all these income friends EI and CPP no so would bring the money a bit down further enti no scanner ojo Ghana no so also to me quantify because so they no quote no monthly no what me quantify all your PF na the all your accommodation allowance near the any other benefits now G now to me quantify no edi nsika edi bomu a bon say sebe ebia na monthly salary na woje no ebia na e wosoro and as anyway kra no epe ida say wosoro sen no na say bia na yeden no epe and as bia wo fom kra na ensen ne bebre sa and mind you and also US dollars Ghana de no and Canadian dollars US dollars no so e wosoro esen the Canadian dollars and so your calculation na what calculate ni ye no hu de obinya answer ebia na wakɔre odoko no kwa enti we so the tax system here in Canada So we've spoken about the tax system, the remuneration, we've spoken about the employment system here in Canada, and we've spoken about the general, mining industry here in Canada. If you have any question, if you have any comment, please put it in the comment section below, and I'll be glad to address them. And please make sure to share this video to your friends and colleagues. Now I'm also into me and benefiting from this true stories, raw data here I'm making. Now I'm to me and I'm planning year. I'm to me decide year whether they have to come or they have to continue with whatever they are doing back home. Please like, share, and comment. And please follow this page because I have a lot for you guys. I have a lot of raw data. Raw data. Data in Sionkaye. Raw as it is. Because I want you people to be well informed. Because I most of the times receive a lot of calls and texts. I want to come to Canada and all that. But do you have the information? That's why I've taken it upon myself to give you the raw data, the raw information here. Now, which means they decide here whether indeed you want to make this transition. This is where we end episode 2, which is the mining industry in Canada. Our next topic, or our next episode, episode 3, is going to be on the cost of living in Canada. Because now we've discussed the transitioning aspect of it. We've now discussed the mining industry in Canada, where we just spoke about the employment, system. We've also spoken about the remuneration, like this year, unim sika butumi inya say ya foul adwum or Canada has ya cancer so afa tax system no ho tax on beto and your tax ni we are any other deductions now unim the beka wo nsem na aka wo nsem awie no. And then I would go the cost of living in Canada. Scanner was account saving a beson and I say so. Then say what to our cost of living expenses in the area. Saying na bit me aka. I will be say what they tour na dachi says come do but me they told you ano. And the next topic no say make about the cost of living in Canada. So watch out for episode 3 on this page. And please follow, share. Send a beya will be and so ebenya videos here me so emphasis. Madam was say share episode 3, the cost of living in Canada. Thank you.